going on, legends? Today we're channeling our love for pointy guitars with this Jackson JS32 King V. As the name suggests, this is Jackson's King V shaped offering from the affordable JS series of guitars, giving players access to some iconic metal shapes for really good prices. Love your guitar for the money? I'm going to tell you why. So first things first, let's get into the history and aesthetics of this model. And let me be the first to say, if you couldn't already tell, this ain't no jazz box.
Like all cool things electric guitar, we've got to take it back to the 80s.
So to make up for that, it had to be thrashing quite...
You made it! Oh!
If you're into 80s hard rock and metal, this story will kick off with two names I'm sure you're very familiar with, Randy Rhoads and Grover Jackson. But we're going to rewind a little bit further first for context. At the tail end of the 70s, Rhoads, the Quiet Riot and soon to be Ozzy Osbourne guitarist, had a custom V-shaped guitar commissioned by luthier Carl Sandoval after seeing one of his guitars in the hands of George Lynch. Carl Sandoval worked for Charvel Guitars, which was bought by Grover Jackson from Wayne Charvel in around 1978.
These blokes must have shared an apartment or something together back in the day. They're always tied in with one another. It's alright, this will all come around to make sense, I swear.
It was a big V-shaped guitar featuring a bolt-on Dan Electro neck that was actually glued into the body like a set neck guitar and finished with that now iconic black with polka dot paint job that made this guitar instantly recognisable even to this day. While digging that guitar, a few years down the track, Rhoads collaborated with old mate Grover Jackson.
See, I all told you it would come around.
What came out of that was the badass Jackson Rhoads, an updated take on the classic flying V shape with offset lower horns and some sweet pinstriping. This was the first original shape from their workshop to rock the Jackson name on the headstock. Similar to Nissan's usage of the Datsun name in the West, this way, if the guitar absolutely bombed, it wouldn't tarnish the Charvel name. Fortunately, it didn't. And, as the way things always go, people always have to take it to the next level. And in December 1983, Dave Linsk, who ended up joining the thrash band Overkill in the 1990s, commissioned a custom V-shaped guitar based on the Jackson Rhoads. It was made up of the longer lower horn of the Rhoads mirrored, making a V-shaped metal machine with maximum girth. Now, what the heck would they call it? It was like a Rhoads, but double. Bingo bango, the Jackson Double Rhoads was born. 10 out of 10 name. While the Double Rhoads was being made, it caught the eye of Robin Crosby of the band Rat. He commissioned two for himself as well, a red one and a black one. Following that, he has others made, with the body, if you can believe it, scaled down, and the King V was born. While being made iconic first by Robin Crosby, it soon found its way into the hands of thrash legends Dave Mustaine and Scott Ian, the more modern metal icons like Wes Borland of Limp Bizkit and Corey Beaulieu from Trivium. With its aggressive V shape, this guitar is like a weaponized music machine. Just holding it makes you feel 20% more metal. No iron deficiencies here.
So now on the playability, the JS32 series feature a bolt-on maple neck, a full 24 fret 2 octave neck, and a 12 to 16 inch compound radius, which means the rounder up here, it's flatter down here. Makes chords comfy and leads easy to play. Features a bound amaranth. Features a bound amaranth fretboard with the iconic Jackson shark fin inlays. So measure up about 20.7 mil at the first fret, about 21.6 at the 12th, on about 26.6 at the 17th fret, just before the neck meets the body. And the nut width is just shy of 43mm, and the neck features graphite reinforcement rods underneath the fretboard to help keep everything rock solid and stable. So the neck itself has a nice D shape with a flat back to rest your thumb. It's an absolute bloody joy to play on. Has a nice satin finish. It's not sticky and is really quick. Now moving on to hardware, up at this end, we've got some Jackson branded sealed die-cast tuners. They're basic, they work, and they feature some nice big ass strap buttons to help hold your strap where you want it, so your on-stage antics don't get away from you. So this bad boy's fit up with a Jackson branded Floyd Rose licensed tremolo system. From what I can ascertain, word of the day, these are a rebranded Floyd Rose Special, the entry-level trem in the Floyd Rose official lineup. So they feature a spot hardened steel base plate, as opposed to the fully hardened plates found on the Floyd Rose Original and 1000 series. And the saddles are made of a zinc alloy. So now, will it be as good as a Floyd Rose Original, Ibanez Edge, or Goto 1996T? No. Is it the worst tremolo system out there? Absolutely bloody not. So someone just getting into metal guitars or wanted something with a double locking tremolo system, it'll be more than serviceable for your basic wang bar shenanigans. You may find as time goes on, when you rack up some hours with the guitar, you may experience a bit of wear on those knife edges of the tremolo, and it might struggle returning to its parallel point at 0 point, and that may give you some dramas with your tuning stability down the track. Now that being said, before you get your knickers in a twist, this will be after racking out some hours using the shit out of that wang bar. So don't take that as a reason to spend all your time fiddling around with bits and bobs and spending money on parts and not playing. So go on, keep playing, start practicing, keep practicing. Practicing's good. Bigger problem than the base plate is just be careful when tightening down those locking nut bolts, being that the saddles are made out of a softer material, that's zinc, as opposed to steel. If you gorilla grip them too tight and you crank the shit out of them, you can wind up damaging the threads on those saddles, and then you're going to have a bad time. Take it easy when clamping down those string bolts, as the bolts are made out of a harder material than the saddles themselves, and they can rip the threads out if you crank them down too tight. That's torque tune. So the JS32 is loaded with the Jackson high output ceramic humbuckers. Black and they're white. I say Jackson on them. They've got a ceramic magnet in them. They're basic, no fuck around ceramic humbucker. They'll be perfect for all your chuggage needs. If you're not interested in swapping pickups out and stuff like that, don't stress, they'll be perfectly serviceable. So your neck is 9.15 k ohms, 9.14. Your bridge, a spicy 15.95 k ohms. And your middle is 5.88. So plenty of spice to get a bit of overdrive action happening with your amp. Alright, so we're going to faff around and get some tone demos out of this. Just running it into the NUX MG30, just running a dual rectifier preset, so dirty and metal. We'll see what sounds we get out of it. Anyway. It's actually giving you a bit of a play. What do I think of it? The fretwork's really nice, actually. They're nice and rounded. There's no pokey fret ends or anything. The locking nuts seated really, really well as well. Really flush with the neck. Sometimes you can feel a tiny little gap where the locking nuts either a B-stick big or a B-stick small, or sometimes slightly offset. So no, they've done a good job with that. Fretboard itself feels a little bit dry. Could do with the conditioning. I probably could have done that while faffing about with the tuning, but that's okay. Doesn't feel too bad. Just feels a little bit dry and scratchy. But yeah, feels nice. Bit of a whammy bar abuse. I did find it, fell out of tune relatively quickly. Hang on, let's see where we're at now. Actually, in that, well, now 14 minutes of just screwing about, the low E has gone a little bit flat. The other ones have actually held up all right, so pretty happy with that. Another thing I did find, these Fluoro Special whammy bar arms, be careful when cranking them down and tightening them up. They've just got a little plastic bushing that can bind on the mount in the bridge itself. So trying to tighten it up so the bar wouldn't move. Actually loosen the little retaining nuts in the tremolo cavity and loosened the entire whammy bar socket. So easy fix, just took the cavity off, just tighten it up with a 3mm Allen key. Just something I noticed. The fit and finish is pretty good. It's a slight little masking issue on one part of the, I guess the top of the V. You don't feel it or anything. It's purely aesthetic. Everything else still feels killer. Yeah, hardware wise, sounds alright. I used a fairly dirty preset there because, let's be honest, what else are you going to be playing this for? You're not going to be taking it to your church gig. I said, be careful with both the locking nut and the bridge, cranking them down too tight. I found the low A string, or the A string, going a little bit flat when locking the strings down. I was able to compensate with the fine tuners, so that was no drama. As I said, actually playing it, this neck feels great. It's a really nice shape, super shredder friendly if you're into that sort of stuff. I'm sure there are many people that can do it a lot more justice than I could, but yeah, if you're after something a little bit shreddy, you'll like that, I think. I personally like a thinner, flatter neck, so yeah, it's pretty killer, I will say. And everything else is pretty dope. So thank you to my mate Chris for lending this to me. I gave it a little bit of a setup and a tune, and he's lent it to me to make this review. Very grateful. So cool guitar. So some bone crushing, neck breaking chuggage to soaring crazy fretboard acrobatics. The JS32 King V delivers in spades. It's like having a bloody sledgehammer and a scalpel all in the one instrument. So whether you're a beginner just looking to dive into the metal world, or a seasoned vet that just needs a solid backup, JS32 delivers. Plus it's a V. They always look badass on stage, and you know, let's be honest, no bullshit. Looking cool's half the battle. I need all the help I can get.
It's funny because it's true.
May your wrists be heavy and your solos be shreddy. We'll see you in the next one. If you've faffed about with the JS32 range, not just the King V, comment your thoughts below.